pacifiers, all pacifiers, are inherently good and bad. They serve a very important need for babies, which is that sucking need for regulation and comfort. But they do change, all of them, the oral development and mechanism in some way. You're introducing something that's not naturally supposed to be there, right? So the tongue is your palate expander. And whenever we're putting something else in that space, it's going to change it. So when we're looking at what is good versus bad, we're looking at what is changing function in a negative way. How can we reduce that? And like I always say, pacifiers are meant to pacify and then remove. I think that's the number one goal for anyone who uses a pacifier. So the pacifier that she's using is your traditional Avent Soothie pacifier. And what's good about that pacifier is that it gets wide at the end. We want it to be wide at the end because that reduces the amount of lip use because it's harder for them to hold on to that width. Why do we want that? Because we want them using the tongue. We want the tongue to hold the pacifier in. I don't want the lips to be holding the pacifier in. Now, if they have it in their mouth, it keeps popping out, they're holding tension around their lips because they're trying to use their lips, then that tells us that the tongue is not doing what it's supposed to do. So it can give us really good insight into what's going on with baby's mouth. If they do well with a ma'am pacifier, for example, or those bibs pacifiers where the lips are going in and they look more relaxed, yes, but nothing's working the way it should. The ninny pacifier is another good example of a pacifier that goes wide at the end. And you might find that it's harder for your baby to use that Soothie and the ninny. Again, that tells us where we should look. Also, I talk about it all the time. It's never just one thing that we're looking at. We have to look at the whole picture. So what is the tongue doing the rest of the time? We want to remove the pacifier when they don't need it to soothe. And we need to be looking at what else is happening. Is there open mouth posture? Is the tongue lifted up to the palate space and sitting there nice and relaxed? It's not just, oh, we use a bottle, oh, we use a pacifier, so you're doomed. It's what else is going on throughout their life. If your baby prefers a bibs or a ma'am, it's not to say that it's not the pacifier that's wrong. It's what that tells us, again, about their mechanism, okay? And so if your baby is doing well on any other pacifier, great. They're using it the way that they need to use it for their body, but we need to look at the whole picture. Why can't they hold an Avent Soothie pacifier? And it doesn't mean that there's always going to be a dysfunction because they took a bibs. No. They took a bibs, but you take it out when they don't need it and you are doing your movement activities and you are engaging the mouth in other ways besides just having that specific pacifier in, then great. Look at the whole baby and what's going on. The pacifier is just a piece. The last part is that, if you're in therapy, you're going to see that they use the Avent Soothie or the ninny, and that's because of the structure of them and what it does to engage the muscles of the mouth. And so you may use a pacifier for therapeutic reasons, but if your baby's screaming in the middle of the night and they take a ma'am, give them a ma'am. We need to find that middle ground where we're allowing for them to regulate, but also looking at the bigger picture and giving them opportunity to improve in areas they may need to improve in.